Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Kyle Donahue Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the Chuckey-Doak Lady Black Knights basketball team. As always, I'm here with Lady Black Knights head coach, athletic director, associate principal, everything here and there. Dr. Kyle Donahue.
That's me.
We got the intro back.
Yeah.
Took a few weeks off from it.
Yeah, that's all right. No worries.
I'm sure you like hearing all of those titles, though.
I like doing them more.
I'm sure you like hearing one, though. It's Doctor.
Yeah. Hard-earned.
Yes. I'm sure you like one more than the others, though, even though it wasn't as hard-earned, and it was Coach Donahue.
Yeah. Dad is my favorite.
Dad, that's a good one.
That's my favorite.
That's got to be your number one.
But you don't have to do that one.
That's all right.
You don't have to enter that one in.
Speaking of coaching, though, you
Sure.
picked up two huge wins this week.
Yeah.
West Green, South Green were the two games that we had previewed last week. You picked up two wins over them. Two back-to-back wins over county rivals that had the double as back-to-back conference wins. Key conference wins, too, because something that I'll go ahead and mention that we'll talk about later after you touch on these games is with everything else that has happened in the conference within the last week, both of those wins have now shot you to sole possession of number one in the conference right now. You get a 45-39 win over West Green Friday night, 60-42 win over South Green on Tuesday. Take me through both of those wins.
Yeah, I thought West Green, we've talked about it. It's a tough place to play. Any place in our conference, it's a tough place to play. And like you kind of started to allude to, anybody can be beaten on any night. So you've got to bring your A game every night in our conference, whether you're at home or on the road. And I thought we came out of the gate very hot. We were getting turnovers, getting layups, getting good shots. And then we go to halftime up 24-11, and then we started fast again, and then they came back and punched us in the mouth. So I thought we didn't respond very well in that third quarter. If you go back and look at some of the games that we've lost, there's always one quarter in which something like that happens, where we don't get great shots, or we have turnovers, or a combination, don't play solid defense, and all that combines to a terrible quarter. If the deficit is enough, or you're close enough that they're in striking distance, then bad things can happen. Luckily for us, we finished that quarter 33-32, and then came out in the fourth quarter and obviously won it. But credit to Coach Shaw and Coach Borey, they really did a good job coming out of halftime. And we like to say we want to take the fight to the other team. We don't want to be on our heels and be the ones getting hit. But I felt like they did a good job of countering that. They hit us in the mouth. They took the fight to us, and we scrambled a little bit. But to our girls' credit, we closed it down the stretch. We could have made more free throws for my liking.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Yeah, always. And a couple more layups. But I'm proud of how well they fought. And like I told them in the locker room, anytime you in conference, an ugly win's better than a pretty loss. We can come out there and score 80 and lose, and you still don't feel good. So I thought we played well, obviously well enough to win. We got to improve on some things when we played them the second time. But I thought we had a pretty good game plan going in. We have to just be more consistent in what we're doing. It's good to get a conference road win, especially in county.
And then on Tuesday night, you got a conference home win over South Green. We talk
Sure.
about, we don't know which ones are more important, the home games or the away games.
Sure.
I think the home games, you have to take care of your home floor, but the away games seem more important because if you do want to win the conference, you have to steal those games on the road. You stole a big one on Tuesday night.
Sure.
South Green was a team that we had spoke about you hadn't beat in so many years up until the Ladies Classic a few weeks ago, but that one, unfortunately for you, didn't count towards the district record. So the first shot you got at them that does count towards your district record, you ended up getting a win again, 60-42 over South Green. That puts you to number one in the conference. Knowing that West Green beat Hampton that night also after the fact, how good did that not feel for you overall?
Well, it felt great. I'm not going to lie to you. It felt great. Anytime you play your both Nicole and I are both South Green graduates.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things you want to make sure you beat your school, and so it was one of those things that we preach every day. We have to get better every day. We can't look down the road as you mentioned, West Green beat Hampton. It's easy to look out and say, "Oh, we're number one. We're going to win the conference." It's easy, especially for kids, to say that and to look ahead and kind of put pieces together. But the message still is the same. We've got to make sure every day we are consistently getting better at what we're doing. We could get tripped up at some point. We could go out and get blown out. But we've got to make sure we're consistent in what we do. And that win against South Green was a good win. We got everybody in, which doesn't happen often to South Green when it's in your favor that you get to put everybody in.
Yeah.
So you usually have to make that call. But it was good to get them here. Obviously, they're without Hensley. I think Bailey may have gotten hurt in that game as well. So, they're looking at their team from the beginning of the year to now. It's a little different. But, nobody's going to take pity on Chuckey-Doak if we have somebody hurt. So, and I don't think they're using that as an excuse. They're coming out and they're playing hard every night as well. They've had a string of bad luck and things, but it's a huge win for us. Like you said, to put us in first in the conference. I don't know the last time we've been in first in our conference at Chuckey-Doak. So that it's good in a sense. It's kind of like being ranked. You know, it's exciting and you have something to hang your hat on, and everybody can point to that and say you're number whatever. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that we're first at the halfway point of the conference season. We've got to go out and earn it. And prove that we deserve it, and I think we can. I think we're playing a lot better than we had previously. I think Christmas was a good barometer for us. I think since we came out of Christmas, obviously we lost to North Green and Cloudland, but I think we played really well coming out of Christmas. And you and I talked about Christmas. It's a good thing to play tougher teams. And it builds character, but it also builds a sense of, that team was awesome.
Yeah.
The team we're playing this week, not saying not Hampton or anybody, but the team we're playing this week isn't that awesome, so we can definitely do some damage. So it was good for our mentality to play those tough teams, including South Green at the Ladies Classic, and I thought since we've had that, we've been getting better. Now, the task for us is to finish. Okay. Right. Obviously, you mentioned first, the task for us is to finish every day as if we're being hunted. You can't rest on what you're doing. Everybody's gunning for us now, which is not a normal feeling here. But we've got to keep the pressure on. We've got to go out and perform every night. We've got to be the hunters. We got to still be hungry. Nobody wins any. We're not making shirts for first in the conference at Christmas or first in the conference first round through. So I think we're up to the task. We've had a good week of practice. I thought our girls have done well, and we've really focused in. But usually there's a lapse in people. It's easy to get complacent.
Yep.
So that's one thing we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid being complacent. We're trying to make sure we're practicing just as hard today as we did yesterday, as we did 2 weeks ago. Make sure we're getting the right fundamentals and things that we're implementing, and make sure we're getting our game plans, and and let the chips fall where they may. I think we're playing just as well as anybody right now, and it's fun to watch them.
You kind of answered my next question.
Sure, there you
Halfway
go.
through the conference slate, I was going to ask, how comfortable do you feel at the moment? How great do you feel being number one?
Not.
And just how do you feel at this moment halfway through the scheduling? You kind of alluded to everything right there. You don't want to get complacent. You feel good at the moment to have sole possession of first place, but you also don't, because you know that for once you have a target on your back.
Yeah.
If you were able to beat Hampton on Friday and Happy Valley on Tuesday, which we'll talk about, then that target only grows larger.
Sure.
So I get what you're saying. You answered everything that I basically had right there. But halfway through the conference slate, first place, don't know when the last time that's happened for Chuckey-Doak, but with West Green taking down Hampton on Tuesday night, you beating South Green, I believe halfway through, you are at number one with a 4-1 record, and I believe Hampton, South Green, and West Green all are 3-2 at the moment. I may be wrong on that. There may be one that sneaks in there that is not.
I don't know.
I think South Green is actually back. I think it is Johnson County, Hampton, and West Green, because no, South Green beat Hampton. So either way, what we do know, you are first place in the conference at the moment.
One thing I try and practice what I preach. You're not looking ahead too much. I'm trying not to look at the standings because it doesn't matter.
I'll do that for you.
Thank you. I said it last year, and we were like third or fourth, wherever we were at. I'm saying it this year as we're in first right now. To me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter till that last week. Obviously, when you get close, you start to look at pairings and things in district tournament, and we have our meeting or whatever. But right now, who cares? Who cares where people are ranked? Because you can go out, lay an egg in 3 games, and you go from first to third, fifth, last, whatever. And we don't want that. We want to make sure we keep our head down and keep grinding and keep working every day. That's kind of the mantra of our program right now is we're going to work. We're just a bunch of gritty basketball players. We're going to play great defense, get some gritty possessions. Going back to that Hampton or the West Green game, I thought we were pretty tough there at the end. We were pretty gritty and gritted out a win, wheeled a win out, had a stop or two that we needed when we needed. So that's kind of our calling card right now. We just want to be tough, both mentally and physically. We want to make sure we stay in the fight, and see what happens. It's a long second half of the season, second half of the conference season. Fortunately for us, we've got Hampton at home. We've got Johnson County at home. We've got West Green at home. We go to Happy Valley, go to South Green. And neither of those will be easy games on the road. But, obviously the schedule is favorable with a bunch of home games in the second half of the year. Plus we have University and Cherokee for senior night. So, it is what it is. We're going to keep working and keep battling. And hopefully at the end of the year we'll look up and we'll say, that was awesome.
I think now that I've thought about it, West Green, Hampton, and South Green are tied for second in a 3-way tie, all at 3-2. I believe Johnson County's right behind them, 2-3.
Okay.
Because I believe Johnson County has beaten West Green, beaten Happy Valley, but lost to you, lost to South Green, and lost to Hampton. So I believe they're 2-3 at the moment. But Johnson County's one team that I have talked about on every interview this week with a District 1 2A coach, because they have a good opportunity to run the table in their favor, because they still host 3 of those 4 teams in the back half.
Not us, thank goodness. We went
That's
up
what
there
I was going to say. You're the only team that they don't.
Whew.
They still host Hampton, West Green, and South Green to finish the season. So Hampton's got a lot of those home games in their favor, as do you, as you mentioned.
Right.
You have Johnson County, West Green, and Hampton at home, which is 3 of those 4 teams behind you. So you and Johnson County kind of sit in a more comfortable position, knowing that you get a lot of those main games at home the rest of the year. But like you said, 4-1 at the moment, but that target's only going to grow larger.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever get comfortable. I don't know if playing at home, playing on the road, either one, you're comfortable. But, basketball and life really is how you handle adversity and how you handle being uncomfortable. So hopefully we handle the uncomfortable. We get comfortable handling the uncomfortable a lot better than the other team. And, it's going to be – I've said it from the start – this conference is wide open. Anybody can win. And, just look at the scores from games all around the conference every week. You say, she beat them.
It's more wide open now than it's been in previous years.
Exactly.
For sure.
So, it's kind of a daunting – I think whoever wins this conference will have earned it. They'll have battled and they'll be battle tested. They'll have won games on the road. They'll have won games at home. They'll be tough, and hopefully that's us. But whoever it is going to have earned everything that they've gotten.
Moving forward now, you got Hampton and Happy Valley. Key game with Hampton on Friday night. Luckily, you get to host them on Friday night. Big game on Friday night against the Lady Bulldogs, who sit right behind you in that 3-way tie for second place. Before we cut to break, though, we got to get a word from our sponsors as always. So we'll be right back in just a moment. We need to get a word from them and give them some screen time. We'll be right back in just a minute to talk about those here on Grassroots Media.
At Terry's Flooring, we have quality products along with quality installers that can make your space look better than ever before. The craftsmanship that our installers bring to the job site is unmatched. Along with the great installers, we have a huge selection of hardwood, LVP, tile, and carpet. We know that spending money isn't that easy, but at Terry's Flooring, we care about your money too. Stop on in and see my Popsy at Terry's Flooring and allow him to save you money while enjoying the hassle-free experience.
For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference.
Bayleton Drug Company services the surrounding communities of Bayleton with excellent patient care using a full-line pharmacy, over-the-counter selections, and a convenient drive-thru. When you visit us, you are treated as a neighbor, not a number. It's not just our slogan, but our culture. We're investing in our patients, local schools, and community. For over 5 years now, we have established ourselves as an independently family-run pharmacy that isn't driven by corporate goals. We are driven by what is best for your overall health and wellness. We're conveniently located so you don't have to make the drive. Prescription drugs are just the tip of the iceberg. We also offer natural remedies, essential oils, at-home medical needs such as walkers, rollators, bath accessories, as well as wound care products. And coming soon, basic urgent care services. What makes us better than other drugstores out there? When you frequent Bayleton Drug, you will receive professional, courteous, and friendly service that goes above and beyond any other pharmacy in the area. Remember, you're a neighbor, not a number.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Kyle Donahue Show, where we cover everything on the court with the Chuckey-Doak Lady Black Knights basketball team.
It's us.
As always, I'm joined here with head coach, athletic director, associate principal, everything here and there,
Yeah.
Dr. Kyle Donahue.
That's it.
I blanked for a minute. I almost
That's
forgot
okay.
the team that I was interviewing. But how can I forget when I look around
all
here,
over here.
and see all the black and gold in here?
Definitely branded.
It is. I do like this. I mentioned it a few years ago when you first added it, but I hadn't mentioned it since then. It's a nice little addition.
Yeah, it was Cameron Beals. Shout out Cameron Beals. She played for us for a year. She's a great kid. If you see her at Ingles, go say hey to her. But she helped me paint it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I do like it. It's pretty cool seeing the before and after when it was stenciled on the wall. Now it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got Hampton on Friday night.
Sure.
Big game. Host them here at home, and then you travel to Happy Valley on Tuesday. Take me through both of those games. We've talked about it enough in the back half how important it is, but just take me through what you expect in both of those games this week with the styles of play they present.
Sure. Hampton obviously has won the conference last year. They've been a perennial power in single A, and until they bumped up to us, they had a 2-year rental in 2A, and then they're bumping back down to single A next year. So, but they're tough. Anytime you play Hampton, they're going to press. They're going to get after you. They're going to play man and switch into a zone press and vice versa, and they're going to try to confuse you a lot, try and speed the game up so that you take bad shots. And the Smith girl, she led us up for, I think, 26 up there. I thought we played well in the second half. First half, I didn't feel like we played so great. I thought we had to shake off the bus trip. Some things happened on that trip. The girls can tell you more, but we ended up taking forever at the gas station, and there was an accusation that someone bought cigarettes on one of our cards, but it's okay. It didn't happen. But anyway, it was a tough night up there. I think we ended up losing by 11 or 12. I thought we didn't play well first half and came out in the second half, played a lot better. So the task for us will be in the first half, obviously, don't sit back and don't take the beating. Let's go ahead and give it, play with passion and purpose, and hopefully we can keep the score close or be in the lead. There's been a lot of games this year where we've been a second half team. I'd like to be a 4-quarter team. I'd like to
the best top teams.
Go out and put it on somebody. That'd be great. So, it's going to be a tough game on Friday night. It's going to be crowded. It's going to be packed in here. Everybody will be in here for big-time conference matchup, and hopefully we play our best. And that's all we can ask. You can't – in basketball, as in life, things are not going to go your way. Like we said, you've got to make sure you handle adversity. When something happens, and it's inevitably going to happen in this game on Friday night. Something's going to go wrong. We're going to be in foul trouble. We're going to have too many turnovers. We're going to miss wide open. Whatever it is, there's going to be adversity, and we've got to make sure we mitigate that and move on to the next play and not let plays string together, because that's when we get behind. So, tough opponent. Hopefully this is a tough place to play for that tough opponent, and we can use that home court advantage. But we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a good game, I hope, and we'll see who comes out of that one. And then we go to Happy Valley.
Short little bus trip.
Happy Valley's improving. I watched them. I think they're getting the Anderson girl back. I think she got hurt against South Green, so she's a tough little point guard. Does a lot for them. They're a tough team. Trap game, if you will. Game. You come off of Hampton, you get ready for Johnson County and home. You got to take the bus ride up to Happy Valley on a Tuesday night. Nobody wants to take a bus trip on a Tuesday. So we got to make sure we focus in on what we're doing. Whether we win or lose on Friday, we got to focus in on Tuesday and make sure that one win or loss doesn't lead into another. Like I said, any conference game on the road is tough. Any conference game at home is tough. We have to take it one day at a time and get to work and play it out.
Is that all you got on the preview?
I think so. And let me ask you a question. What color's your bathroom?
Color's my bathroom? That's funny you asked that. Story time.
Okay.
So, I go off to college at ETSU.
Yeah.
So, I would come home on the weekends, and before that, it was just you're plain white. So I come home one weekend, not expecting anything. I walk in my bathroom and I flip the lights on. Before I mention the color, you all know I'm a Texas fan.
Okay.
But basketball,
Duke.
You and I both like Duke.
Yes.
My parents are North Carolina fans.
Oh.
I flip on that bathroom light.
Baby blue.
It is not Carolina blue, but it is very close.
Come on, parents.
I was very shocked. I can't say on here what I said at the moment because I was shocked and a little disappointed.
Man.
But yeah.
Man.
A light color, more like, I don't know if it's like a baby blue.
Yeah.
It's not a Carolina blue. It's kind of like an ocean blue. Yeah. But at the moment, whenever you first flip the lights on, first thing that comes to my mind is my bathroom just got painted Carolina blue while I was gone.
Well, our friends at Terry's Flooring can help you out there. If you are looking to renovate your bathroom all of a sudden, if your parents change your bathroom color, maybe you're looking for some new tile or new flooring to go with that new color, go see Terry's Flooring. They'll help you out.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Number's on the screen. Number was on the screen a few minutes ago when we gave them a word from our sponsors.
Oh, sweet. Rewind. Show them. Give them a call.
Football.
Go see Harley's Popsy.
There we go. That's on the commercial.
There you go.
We've talked about college football the last few weeks. This is the last week we get to talk about it.
It's sad, isn't it?
It's over, man. Was it what you expected?
Here's something crazy. And I meant to text Coach Murphy and Matt Ripley. Shout out to those guys, text group. What's crazy, Florida State has started their off-season conditioning the day of the national championship.
That's nice.
That's ridiculous.
That's nice.
Oh, my gosh. We should never be starting our... That's how long they've been done. They've been done forever. No bowl game, no nothing. they've had 7 months off, and they're already starting off-season conditioning. Meanwhile, Ohio State's still basking in their win. Man, we got to get good again. But it was a good game. Being a defensive guy, I like watching defenses, and I thought they both played really well. There were some lapses in defense. How do you not just guard Smith with everybody you got? Whatever. They're smarter than me. That's why they get paid the big bucks. But it was a good playoff. I thought some teams won that should have won. Some teams that didn't. Maybe, just maybe, Michigan can hang a banner that says, "We beat the national champs."
That's what I was going to ask. It's been a huge topic between those guys. I love it. I love Michigan and Ohio State fans just going at it on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things because neither of them gain an upper hand on each other, but they think they do. Would you rather beat your biggest rival but not win the national championship, or lose that game to your biggest rival and still win the national championship?
Are we talking about 1 year, or are we talking like 4 years? Are you trading 4 losses for a national championship?
Just one in one season. Would you rather lose to Miami and go 11-1, or lose to Florida and go 11-1? I don't know Florida State as well. Which one's the bigger rival?
I think they both are. It just depends who you ask. I can't stand Miami. But,
okay. So, if you drop one of those games but you still win the national championship, would you take that? Or would you rather beat them in the season but lose the national championship?
I'd rather win the national championship.
I think I would too.
I mean,
I was in that boat last year.
Although I can't stand Miami, if you lose to them and you win the Natty, you can say, congrats, you still stink.
Well, where's your trophy to show for it? We got a big shiny one.
What's your thing? Win the ACC one time, Miami. Sorry. It's just fun to do until they win, It's just fun to do.
You think they got a good shot at winning next year?
They always have a good shot if you listen to them. I'm not a huge Carson Beck fan, though.
I'm not either, but I don't know what they're losing outside of Cam Ward and Xavier Restrepo. I think he might be gone. I think so.
I hope so. I'm tired of seeing that little guy run around. He's the all-time leader in Miami catches or receiving yards or something.
I'm sure he did a lot on Florida State too. If you're
he did,
I'm
like sure
that.
He did. Yeah, he's all over the place.
But that's an interesting
good
topic.
receiver.
Would you rather lose your biggest rival and still win the Natty, or beat your biggest rival and lose the Natty?
I think it's a no-brainer. You'd rather win the national championship.
I think so too.
Now, if you're looking at like Ohio State, and you've not won in the last 3 years, there's you more. Would you rather go 4 years and not know that you're going to win it? But you will win it.
That's an anomaly because I don't think those Michigan players and fans really care. Because they're like, hey, guys, we beat you 4 years in a row and we just won last year.
Yeah.
Congrats. You finally got one.
That's a little
That's
different.
what Ohio State was saying to them last year. It's been 25 years since y'all have won one. It's about time.
Yeah, that's a little different when you just won the year before.
Yeah.
But if it's like Miami that's not even won the ACC, would they choose to lose to you 4 years in a row? And then win the national championship without knowing. You can't know. I don't know what you would choose.
I don't know either. I was in that same boat last year. The only game Texas lost was Oklahoma. And they were knocking on the doorstep of a national championship appearance. So
Oklahoma.
At the time, I didn't like that. But once I figured it out later, maybe that's the final one to lose.
I'll take it. It would be nice to be included in the College Football Invitational, but it's whatever.
You were.
Yeah, whatever.
First year of it.
Yeah, we got blown out. Let's skip on that.
That was a great weekend, though. Not for you. For non-fans of Florida State
it wasn't for me.
and Alabama, because seeing Oregon beat Florida State like that was awesome for everybody else, because Florida State had won a bajillion games in a row up to that point. And then it was nice to see Ohio State just run straight through Alabama in that other semifinal game.
Florida State's not been around as long as everybody else, but if there was a playoff when in the 80s and 90s, I think Florida State's up there with anybody.
Is Florida State a blue blood?
Yes.
Oh, you think so?
I do.
I do not, but
That's
they
okay.
are close. They are one of those bubble.
That's okay.
Blue. How many blue bloods are there in your opinion? Because some people think that Penn State is a blue blood.
I think we had this conversation last week.
Did we?
Um,
You've got Alabama,
okay.
Oklahoma,
Okay.
Ohio State, USC.
Michigan.
I was about to say, Michigan's got to be one. Texas. Here's one. We need to get a word from Coach Ben Murphy on here. Is Nebraska still a blue blood?
No comment.
Is Nebraska still a blue blood?
No comment, Coach Murphy. I'm going to send this to you as well, and you can answer it, and you can put it in the comments if you want to. No comment, but I would say no. You got to have done something in the 20th century.
And here's the next one.
I don't even think they've done anything since when?
90s?
97?
I think so. And here's the other one. I
Okay.
guess they've done a little bit in this century, but Notre Dame. I guess they have to be a blue blood too. They've made it to a few national championships, made it to a few playoffs.
Join a conference.
Didn't finally win anything until this year, though.
Join a conference.
So,
Although
regular season
I
champions.
have seen that they're trying to petition the ACC to get a permanent rival. They want to face Clemson every year. However, to their credit, they're not in any conference, so they get to split the $20 million for the national championship prize money for being in it. $20 million. They get to split that with nobody. They get all of it. Whereas Ohio State has to split with the Big Ten or the Big
18.
2,000 teams. So, I guess they're laughing all the way to the bank.
Won't be laughing when they don't get an automatic conference bid again.
Well, it didn't hurt them this year.
Didn't hurt them this year, but who's to say it on next year? If they have that, they could change it,
Yeah,
which
who
I think
knows?
they should.
Who knows?
Other borderline bubble blue bloods. Is Penn State a blue blood?
How many? We talked about that last week. How many national championships they won?
I don't know, but they ain't won one since like 87, so. And again, they didn't do anything in a playoff until this year.
Here's
too.
your. Forget them. Forget them.
Okay.
Army West Point.
No. Just because they haven't done anything here. It's like Yale. Is Yale a blue blood? Yale has like 18 national championships.
They are a blue blood. They're not a new blood.
Georgia. I think recency bias might play a factor, but you have to go through those 90s and 2000s decades where they didn't really win anything.
That's what you need to do on your coaches shows with football coaches. Start a list.
Of blue bloods.
Start a list of blue bloods, and let's see. Start with criteria. What does it take? How many years do you have to be a program?
It's Florida. You mentioned Florida State. You think is a blue blood.
Yes.
I think I know the answer to this one. Miami.
I mean, but you about have to count them in. But what have they done in the last
I say no.
20 years?
They had a strong 25-year run from the early 80s to the early 2000s. Outside of that, what have they done?
I'm
it's
not
like
going to disagree with you.
it's like basketball. Is Connecticut a blue blood? They've had a great 25-year run. Well, what happened the previous 50 before that?
They were just there.
Yeah.
But Calhoun,
I mean, yeah.
Calhoun has done a good job.
They've never lost a
Yeah,
national
hardly.
championship game. They've won how many now?
How crazy would that be? We're winning this thing.
I think they've won 5 or 6. 6, I think. I mean, they have more than Duke.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like,
I don't know.
a lot of mediocre seasons in between.
I don't know.
Same with Miami, a lot of mediocre seasons, so that's why I don't consider them one.
A lot.
Penn State's the one that I teeter back and forth
They've
with.
had a
like,
lot of
yeah,
mediocre.
you are sort of a blue blood, but at the same time,
Mediocre.
you've not won a national championship in close to 40 years.
Yeah. Just
So.
say it. They're mediocre.
They are mediocre.
At best.
James Franklin, what was it?
They're not
Is the
back.
Nick Saban of Ryan Day's or Ryan Day
Ryan
is
Day
the
was
Nick
the-
Saban of James Franklin's?
Yeah.
No longer any longer.
Not any longer. You can't say that anymore.
Now James Franklin is
We'll
the Nick
see, though.
Saban of James Franklin's.
I may keep saying it. We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, he got his one though.
Yeah, good for them.
You
My
know-
uncles, my Uncle Dirk and Angie, her family all likes Ohio State. She's from Ohio. Tegan likes cheering for Ohio State. She was cheering for them because we go up to Cincinnati Hospital. So anytime she sees anything Ohio, her NFL team has become the Bengals.
Not a bad team.
We saw their cheerleaders one time at the mall, so
Cool.
she saw them. I wasn't there with that one, but that's Ohio has become our second home a little bit with the Children's Hospital. Shout out to them. I don't think they're watching this at all.
No, but hey.
Dr. Tarango's a baller. We're big fans of her up in Cincinnati Children's. Anytime we go up there, they take good care of us. Great time up there. But at the same time, taking cheers on Ohio State. My uncle cheered on Ohio State. His wife, Aunt Angie. Ohio State. So it was good for them to win. But next year, actually it's this year. This year's already started. Let's go Noles. This year has started. We're winning this year.
Last thing I'll mention.
All right.
You mentioned shout out, and
Sure.
this is completely off topic from football, but
Jared
another
Flooring?
sport. Shout out to them too. Mentioned
Hey,
it before.
pause. Coach Murphy, I mentioned it earlier. It was coming out. I sent it to you.
Yes.
Go by the tap room. I don't know if they do it every night. Go by the tap. Call in there if you want to. Ask for the owner. They've got a burger, fries, 4 wings. It's like $15. That's like 2.5 meals. Get on in there. Check them out. Old Oak Tap Room. Tell him I sent you. Maybe he'll give you a discount. I doubt it though. Don't say that because he for real
Pay full price.
but it's delicious. Have yourself a good time, and just don't go on Wednesdays if you're not trying to go to trivia because it'll be packed. Any other night, go for it. Last thing, all right.
Got one last thing. We had talked about it before we started our interview because you were creating a graphic over here.
Oh, yeah, all right.
You had a bowler
Yeah.
that deserves some recognition. I don't like to bury him at the end, but I apologize. We forgot about it until just now.
Buried the lead.
No, my fault. I didn't mean to mention it at the end, but Mr. Bowling,
Yeah.
I think 4th in singles competition
Yeah.
in the state tournament. How cool is that?
That's awesome, man. He's the first Mr. or Miss anything in Chuckey-Doak history. Obviously, we have a split bowling team. South Green Co-op's with us. So we're lucky enough to have a good team, good coach, Coach Weems. They're down there right now at state competing in the team tournament. And he competed in the individual, so he had to individually qualify, and bowling. I've been telling people this because not a lot of people know. In football, there's Mr. Football for 6 classes, plus whatever's in Division II. I think it's
kicker.
3. Is it 2 or 3? And a kicker.
1 and 2, yeah.
Okay. So you're getting how many Mr. Footballs?
9.
9. In bowling, there is 1 class. So every public school in the state that has bowling is in 1 class. And he was top 3 and ended up winning that thing. So shout out to Gavin Murray. Great job. He's new to us this year. He's a homeschool student, but plays on our team because he's in our district. He actually is my neighbor. Shout out to the Murray family. We see them out all the time, and we have a good time on our street. I'm not going to say. I was about to say it.
No.
I was about to say it.
Luckily, you've got somebody who can edit that out.
I was about to. My wife would have killed me if we have rollers every night. But anyway, that great family, and he deserves it. He's worked hard, and great for him. So, with that being said, our bowling team has moved into the semifinals. I don't know when this is coming out. It may come out
Tonight.
Okay, it's coming out tonight, Thursday night. So they play tomorrow at 10/9 Central for the semifinals in the state tournament. So we're excited for them. It's the first time since Coach Broyles was just telling me, he thinks it's 91, since the boys went to the semifinals in 1991 basketball. First time we've had a Chuckey-Doak team reach the semifinals in a team sport. So, pretty big deal around here. We're excited, and hopefully they can go all the way and have a good run at it. So they're still alive, one of the final 4. So rock on bowling team and Gavin Murray.
Hope they smash those pins in Smyrna.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got. Anything else you got to mention? We ramble on at the end here. I wonder if we didn't have anybody comment last week. We have people that stay to the end. Please let us know.
Next week.
Or are we just rambling for just our own sake
Hey,
right
if
here?
you're still here, we appreciate you.
Just drop a comment. Drop just a emoji, thumbs up, Black Knight emoji.
terrysflooring.net.
All right, we got to land this thing.
All right, where were we? Hey, shout out to all Black Knight fans. Thank you for supporting all of our teams and everything we do. I don't know where we stopped. Shout out bowling. Shout out.
If you watch this long, drop a emoji, thumbs up, Black Knight emoji, Terry's Flooring website, the number to call, Terry's Flooring. Coach Donahue's number, so somebody can go tell him how much that he rambles on. No address, phone number though maybe. We had the memory chip reach full capacity, so we don't know where we cut off.
Who knows?
We need to end this properly though.
Hey,
so.
two things. One, if you're watching this and it's not too late, swing by Panda Express. Look on the
We'll plug that next week for sure.
Look on the cheerleading website for them. They're at Panda Express tonight. Next Friday, go ahead and mark it down in your calendars. Next Friday, swing by Panda Express and show this coupon. I don't know if you can do that. If you have that capability, that'd be cool. But if you do, that'd be awesome.
You have to send it to me first.
Okay, I will. That'd be awesome if you can. This coupon. There we go. Anyway, check them out. Part of that money that you spend that night will go back to our girls basketball team. So that's number one. Number two, come on out, support us on Friday night against Hampton. It'll be cold outside, but it'll be nice and warm in the gym. Hopefully not too warm. Sometimes I get too hot. But thanks for tuning in.
That's all we've got, Coach.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Kyle Donahue Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.
Hey, and go Black Knights.